involved in beauty all my life.
Okay.
Making product, doing everything to try to improve formulas and how people select product, buy product. So I learned a lot about how a person goes into a store and touches things, opens things. You know how they used to do, open and smell. You know, and if you get a chance, touch it. Those days are over. What I learned over the last 8 weeks, it's only been 8 weeks, that there's a tremendous need of education in the marketplace. But there's a lot of people that have suffered over the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Our business is closed down. The beauty supply, the salons, the barbers, the nail parlors, even gyms, people that are serving other people, they had to stop their whole way of doing business.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to figure out how to start up again. And here in Georgia, we're starting that process.
We are.
And so, not only did we want to bring out hand sanitizer, I felt strongly that the way they recommended using it was unclear. It says use frequently. Well, that's not good enough. I felt like it's got to use a purpose for it, a purposeful and responsible use of the product to help others. To help yourself, of course, but to help others. And that's how this idea of a pledge came around. It said, if only one of us or two of us do this, it's not good enough. We really have to pledge as a united group of people to come together and say, we're going to do this for the betterment of everyone. It's so simple. I mean, if you don't have to touch something, don't touch it.
No, listen. I think we're gonna implement this pledge throughout the city of Savannah. Will be my goal. I mean, the city of South Fulton will be my goal. I know you're from Savannah. I was talking to some of my counterparts down there because I used to work there a few years ago before I came here. Yeah, and they were talking about their reopening rules will kind of include, the requirement that folks sign off and commit to better hygiene. And so I think we're kind of going to plagiarize your pledge and,
listen,
and utilize it.
We're all in it together. Even the Savannah mayor, I said, fantastic. Savannah safe, wonderful. We just all doing the same thing. We're saying, hey, think about it before you do things. Make sure you got the right proper equipment, really, whether it's distancing or whether it's touching. But here's the importance of this rule. I felt like use frequently. You're not thinking strategically when you're just using frequently. But you got to touch a knob to open the door. You got to pull. So at that point, if your hands were clean, if everyone did this, there wouldn't be as many germs on that door.
That's true.
All right. Now the secret about why after is because when you touch something and you touch and touch and touch and touch, you've collected 10 people's germs, and you don't realize they're on your hands. They're even on your gloves. So when you bring that hand back to you and try to hold your cell phone, stop. Wash your hand or sanitize your hand, because that is going to stop those germs to come back to you. That's why it's before and after. And then the last one is the eyes, because the eyes are constantly exposed to your hands. They're coming up to your face, your nose, your mouth. And it's a habit. Every 15 times to 30 times an hour, you go up here. Just to, maybe like us with a little bit of beer. We scratch and you're moving the germs towards your vulnerable area. So that's why you need to keep your hands clean before you touch your face. And your eyes, nose, and mouth are exposed to the germs. But it's impossible to do. It is impossible not to touch your face without washing your hands every time. So we thought it would be really important for us to think strategically. If I'm touching something that has a lot of germs, it's immediate. I'm gonna do something, because that's the high risk. So I touch this, not as risky. Touch a door handle, a little more risky. Sit and call a car and snap that seatbelt in, very high risk. 100 people have done that. So the higher the risk, the more you got to think to yourself, let me wash my hands, because there is about 100 people might have touched that. So I'm going to reduce my risk before I touch my face. So that's the idea, and it's a very simple idea, but I felt it was better than use frequently.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it gives you
yeah.
your thought. You start thinking about all the consequences of going through your daily routine, you know, like navigating through public spaces, whether it's in an office, you know, or whether it's in a, now that some places will start opening
Yeah,
up.
elevator and around.
I mean, there's so many
yeah.
different places that we're going to have to be careful as we go through. But is you know, I'm saying everyone that, you know, does their own thing. It doesn't matter if it's this way, but the idea is the same. We're all in the same. It's the same idea. Just less germs in public spaces is the idea.